Should we try and restrain him?
Yeah, I would like to. Like, how close is he to the gong?
Oh, he's just a few feet in front of it at this point.
Okay, so I would like to try and run forward and kind of like I'm like, Flint, I hope this doesn't hurt, and I run and I would like to just like pin him to the gong and be like, Edvard, tie him quick, like if
to
you
the
can,
gong?
like get to because it sits on like a.
It is inside a large wooden frame.
A wooden frame, so tie him to the wooden frame.
Right, to the wooden frame, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll take off, I guess, the climbing gear from my load and use the ropes from that.
Before you go ticking off things for certain, Edvard, maybe we should see how Lilith does with the running and the grappling.
Oh, of course.
Okay, so I'm going for like a sort of finesse. I'm trying to like catch him off his feet a little bit, rather than like a full-on wreck. I'm trying to be like
a kind of scoop and pin.
Yeah, and I would like to push myself for an extra die.
Lovely.
Okay. Oh, that's a 1 and a 3.
Ooh. Yes. Okay. You go for the scoop and pin, and you do indeed wrestle him up against the gong, which makes an enormous, satisfying noise. Obviously, you hold him there for a moment.
Literally the noisiest thing in this room you could have pinned him against.
Yeah. It's all right. The whole place is empty. You're okay. He locks eyes with you for a moment, Lilith. Your heads are very close together, and he goes, "You should have run!" He starts to glow, and suddenly his face appears to change into that of a horrifying banshee. It's a kind of drawn skin stretched over a skull with big fangs.
Say the words, Lilith.
With one very strong, with one long clawed, it's nails. They're fingernails grown to a horrible length. It easily just swipes you, Lilith, and sends you flying into some timpanis with a noise. Yeah, it's pretty savage. Take level 2 harm, broken rib.
Oh.
How now, brown cow? Don't get out of here right now. I say, trying frantically to remember the Vash move.
Yeah, the banshee having sort of dispensed of Lilith, Edvard, its gaze very quickly just switches round, bird-like to you.
I would like to try and. I'm gonna. Okay, is there a large enough timpani that I could sort of pull across myself and get inside it so it can't hit me?
Yeah. There's a let's say there's a big marimba. I think.
Great.
I think marimbas are that big enough, and like they're on wheels.
Yeah.
So you can just scoot it in front of you. Yeah, absolutely. You'll have to roll for it though, obviously.
Yeah. Okay, I guess I'm calling this a wreck roll because I'm sort of wrecking up the marimba, pulling it over me to protect myself. Oh, it's a 6.
Yes.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah, the banshee comes flying in down towards you, quick as a flash, Edvard. You scoot this thing over. As you scoot, it kind of flips and upends and forms a perfect defensive shield. The banshee just slams into it, making a kind of noise, and the long-nailed, the clawed hands are kind of like on either side. But
Lilith, I say,
it cannot get at you.
Do something about this banshee.
Okay, right. Well, I would like to pick myself up, and I would like to whip out my spirit mask to increase my attunement. Okay, which is it's a lovely Mardi Gras style mask from my travels, and I would also like to get out my lightning hook, which is a special weapon in order to deal with spectral forces, and I would like to try and hook the banshee away from Edvard.
Amazing. Describe to me this weapon. Tell me a little bit about it and how it works.
Basically, it's like a sort of a bit like a ball and chain, but it's a very, very, very long chain, and on the end is like this very ornate hook. My one is like quite an ancient one, like not ancient, but it's a kind of antique almost. The one that I have has been passed down in my family, and it's imbued with lightning, so that it's just constantly like crackling away once I kind of like activate it. Like if anyone else picks it up who isn't a whisper, it doesn't quite work unless I've already like made it kick into gear. So yeah, it's sort of a kind of like a little bit like a very fancy angry lasso.
Nice. Okay. So yeah, we're
or lasso, as some people say.
And then.
So I'd like to just cook. It's kind of like a shepherd's crook, but way more flexible.
Nice. Nice. Okay. Cool.
And lightning.
Also, lightning was there.
Yeah.
Great. Let's get this thing away from Edvard.
Yeah. So I would like to use kind of my attunement, I suppose, to try and snatch it.
Yeah.
6. I got a 6.
Amazing.
Damn.
Yeah. You hook this thing around, and with a sort of low hum, it sings through the air, digs this spectral hook into the banshee's shoulder. It goes, ah! And yeah, with an enormous exertion of both mental and physical will, Lilith, you just pull your arm down, and banshee is indeed whipped back and away, not only away from Lilith, but smashes into a drum kit with a sort of,
Yes, it finally happened. With that 6, do you think maybe I could also be able to have sort of slightly wrapped it with the chain?
Yeah, I think so.
A little bit, so it's slightly
with a kind of deft aerial winding motion. Yeah, it's slightly
okay.
It can move its arms like this, but
Yeah.
it doesn't have the full reach.
All right. Okay, so I'd like to stare at it and be like, "You get out of my friend." And I say the words, the sun, so glorious, bright, an utterly fantastic sight at which did weep and wail the blight.
I was basically right.
That was basically.
Yeah, Edvard, you did very well, honestly. You did very well.
Yeah. Is this another roll? That's the question. At this point, you're just talking. I think you're okay. That 6 was pretty mighty. Yeah, the banshee, as soon as you start to say the words, it starts shrieking very, very loudly and wriggling around and kind of trying to resist resist the bonds that you've wrapped it in. But being bound, it can't quite get up or get over to you or to Edvard fast enough to gut you and kill you before you finish the verse. And as you say the final words, did weep and wail the blight, the banshee stops dead, crumples down to the ground. It opens its mouth, and every orifice sort of streams with light, and with a huge arcane explosion, the banshee is dispelled. It's such a huge wave of energy that every instrument is kind of immediately back against the whatever wall is closest.